So what is the real secret to making your English sound natural and fluent? Today, we're going to unlock it. And here's a hint. It's not about talking faster. It's all about mastering the rhythm and flow that connects our words together. If you've ever felt like your speech is a little choppy, then you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, let's start with something I bet you've felt before. Do you ever listen to a native English speaker and just think, wow, they are talking so fast? Or maybe when you speak, you feel like you sound a little robotic, saying one word at a time. If any of that sounds familiar, trust me, you're not alone.
Well, here it is, the big secret. It's not about speed, it's all about flow. See, native speakers aren't necessarily talking faster, their words just flow together, smoothly, kind of like water in a river. So the goal isn't to speed up, it's to create that beautiful, connected sound.
So how do we get that flow? Well, the main technique is called linking, and it's a really simple idea, but it's so powerful. You're basically building a little bridge of sound that connects the end of one word right to the beginning of the next one. Take a look at this. We don't say an apple with that little gap in between, right? The sounds just blend together, and it becomes an apple. That N sound just kind of hops over. Same thing with hold on. It becomes hold on. It's like the words just melt into each other to make one smooth sound.
Okay, so how does this actually work? Well, there are a few simple rules, and we're going to start with the most common one of all. This is when a word ending in a consonant sound meets a word starting with a vowel sound. Let's call this our basic bridge. Now, here's a really easy way to think about it. Just imagine that the last sound of the first word jumps over to start the next word. You're not actually changing the words at all. You're just mentally shifting where that sound belongs to make everything connect smoothly.
For example, get up becomes get up. I like it sounds way more natural as I lick it. Or an orange becomes an orange. And speak English flows into speak English. Can you hear that? It's just so much smoother and more connected.
All right, on to our second rule. So, what happens when a word ends with the exact same sound that the next word starts with? This one is super simple. You don't say the sound twice. You wouldn't say a black cat, no. Instead, you just merge the two sounds into one slightly longer sound. So a black cat becomes a black cat. You just hold that k sound for a split second longer. And you'll notice this happens all the time in everyday speech. For example, I had a bad day. Not two D sounds, just one long one. Or maybe I have a purtle. You can hear it in social life and feel lucky. It just makes everything sound smoother, and honestly, it's easier to say. Okay, our last rule is a little bit trickier, but it's so cool once you get it. What happens when one word ends in a vowel sound, and the next word also starts with a vowel sound? To make a bridge here, we sometimes add a tiny little invisible sound to help out. See, when you have two vowel sounds back to back, your mouth kind of automatically adds a tiny little sound to connect them smoothly. Depending on the shape of your lips, you might naturally add a small y sound, a w sound, or sometimes even a r sound, just to help those words flow. So first up is that little y sound bridge. This usually happens after vowel sounds like E or A. So when you say I agree, listen really closely. A tiny y sound just appears to connect them. I agree. It's super subtle, right? But it's what makes it flow instead of being choppy. Next, we've got the w sound bridge. This one tends to show up after round vowel sounds like oo or o. So instead of a choppy go in, it becomes go in. Or think about how do it becomes do it. It just happens naturally because your lips are already in that round O shape. And finally, there's the raw sound bridge. Now, this one is really common in some accents, like British English. An R sound gets added to link words, even when there's no R in the spelling. So, I saw a movie might sound more like I saw a movie. Again, it's not in the spelling, it's just there to make the sentence flow. Okay, so we've gone through all these rules, but why? Why does any of this actually matter for your English? Let's quickly talk about the real benefits of getting the hang of linking. Well, there are three huge reasons. First, your speech will just sound so much more natural and fluent, way less robotic. Second, and this might surprise you, it actually makes it easier to say a lot of phrases because that difficult sound at the end of a word just moves to the next one. And third, once you know these rules, you'll start hearing them everywhere.
This makes it so much easier to understand people when they speak naturally. So it's a win-win, right? It helps your speaking and your listening.
So that's it. That's the secret. It's all about linking. And you know what? The real work doesn't start with speaking, it starts with listening. So as you go about your day-to-day, listening to music or watching TV, just listen. What word links are you going to start to notice? Happy listening!